Welcome back to Creative Tien channel. This is part 2 of the cardigan machine knitting on an LK150 knitting machine. In the last video, we knit almost all pieces except the front center panel. And today we'll finish up the front and sew up all the seams. The front panel is only the stockinette stitches folded in half lengthwise, so it doesn't curl. So you'll be double thickness. And the knitting part is very easy. It's similar to the front bottom panel. According to my calculation, I will need about 30 stitches wide and fold it in half, so then it will be about 15 stitches wide. And for the length, I have around 270 rows. And you can calculate that from other part of the knitting because it's only stockinette stitches, so you can measure from your other part of the knitting. I cast down 32 stitches, so it's from left 16 to the right 16. And I start with simple E-rub and start knitting back and forth. And don't forget to put on the weight. And also remember to move the weight up so it doesn't hit the floor, because this is going to be very long. If you're not sure you will have enough length, you can knit longer and keep the ending open stitches. Here I knit 270 stitches and just thread the contrasting color yarn through all the live stitches. So I can adjust it. If it's too long, I can take out a few rows before I bind off. But you can also choose to bind off for now. It can save one step later. So we fold the panel lengthwise. That's how it looks. And to sew up, I like to place pins. To connect different pieces, I prefer to use crochet hook and either do the slip stitch or single crochet. Here I have 3.5 millimeter. It doesn't have to be precise, but smaller size will be easier. And I simply start from one edge and try to keep the stitches even. And because there are many different combinations of the top and bottom pieces, so there's no strict rules of how to seam it up. I just put more pins and make sure it's even. Sometimes you have to add or reduce stitches. If you do it evenly, it will look fine. And the reason I like to use crochet is that first, I don't have to cut yarns. I can just keep going. And I can undo the crochet easily. I just pull it apart. If I don't like it, I can redo it. And I decided to use a single crochet because I think it gives a nice finish. It also helps with tension. Sometimes a slip stitch can be tight if you're not careful. But with single crochet, it seems the tension is consistent and the finish looks neat from the inside. And because this is a cardigan, it is not a problem if there is some bulk. For the mark ribbon, I use needle and yarn to sew it up. Here I just pick up one leg of the V stitch from each side, so it's less bulky. And if I have long enough yarn tails there, I would just use a yarn tail to stitch up. For the front center panel, I connect the back side of the panel first to the garment, and later I will fold in half and connect the top layer. And for this front center panel, I also use yarn needle to sew up because I don't want it to be too bulky. It's already 3 layers, so I don't want to add more bulk. So this part will take more time to sew up. And again, I just pick one leg from each side of the V stitch. For the unfinished bottom of the front center piece, at the short end, I do the sew up bind off. I sew up 2 stitch forward and 1 stitch back, 2 stitch forward and 1 stitch back. And after that, I will take out the waste yarn. So what will I do differently next time? I think this one turns out a little bit small for me. This style is better for oversized look. So if I do it again, I will probably make it bigger. This fits better for small size than medium. And I will also finish both ends of the center panel first, instead of leaving one end open. And another thing I will change is yarn selection. Next time I'll probably pick yarn with more wool content. It should feel more sturdy. This yarn is fine, it just seems a little bit more flappy. It just seems less structured than I like. And I think the wool yarn should hold the shape better. So that's the cardigan project for machine knitting. Thank you so much for watching and see you next time.